A black tie gala. Crystal chandeliers. Millionaires in tuxedos. And right in the middle of the ballroom, a matte black Porsche 911 Turbo S rolls in, engine growling like a beast. For lovely children, absolutely perfect, children climb out of that car, dressed like little princes and princesses. They look straight at the stage and, in perfect unison, call out one word that silences the entire room. Daddy. The crowd gasps. Phones shoot up. And the man on the stage, the one everyone thought was a murderer for the last 10 years, opens his arms as his 4 children run to him for the first time in their lives. But here's the part that will make your blood run cold. The man they thought he killed? He's standing right there in the crowd, very much alive, smirking, until security grabs him. How does a man lose 10 years of his life for a murder that never happened, discover he has quadruplets he never knew existed, and then get revenge so sweet the whole world watches it go viral? If your jaw is already on the floor, smash that like button right now, because this story is about to go places you won't believe. Welcome to Mother Pen Tales, the home of stories that hit you straight in the soul. To every single one of you beautiful subscribers, new and old, thank you. You are the heartbeat of this channel. All right, family, let's get into it. His name is Ryan Caldwell. 10 years ago he was 28, grease under his nails, working double shifts at Whitaker Auto to buy his young wife the little white house with the blue shutters she kept circling in magazines. He loved Lauren more than oxygen. They were high school sweethearts. She used to ride shotgun in his beat-up red pickup, windows down, singing Tim McGraw at the top of her lungs. They got married at 19 in a courthouse ceremony with $20 between them and promised each other the world. Ryan kept that promise the only way he knew how, with busted knuckles and overtime. One night he came home early, bouquet of grocery store roses in his hand, ready to surprise her. He walked through the door and the world ended in slow motion. There was Lauren, his Lauren, on the kitchen island, legs wrapped around Kyle Whitaker, his boss, his best friend since 8th grade. Ryan's brain short-circuited. He dropped the roses. He was dumbfounded, his pulse sped up immediately, sending adrenaline rush down his whole body. He couldn't believe it. One punch. That's all it took. Kyle flew backward, head cracking against the corner of the marble countertop with a sickening thud. Blood pooled fast. Too fast. Kyle's eyes rolled back. No pulse. Lauren screamed, not at Kyle, not for help. She screamed at Ryan. You murdered him. Oh my God, Ryan, you murdered him. Before Ryan could even drop to his knees to try CPR, she was on the phone. 911, my husband just killed a man. Hurry. Police burst in. Handcuffs. Miranda rights. The whole nightmare. At trial, Lauren took the stand in a modest black dress, mascara tears perfect. He's always had a temper, she sobbed. I was so scared of him. The jury ate it up. 2nd-degree murder. 25 years. Ryan didn't even fight it. He looked at Lauren one last time across the courtroom, searching for the girl who used to trace hearts on his foggy truck windows, and she looked away. The gavel fell. The cell door slammed. And Ryan whispered to himself, I deserve this. They told me I killed a man. 10 years of my life gone, because I believed it too. Inside, the days bled into each other. Asterisk. Ryan's body changed first. He dropped weight until his ribs showed, then started lifting scrap metal in the yard until veins roped his arms and prison ink crawled over the scars. He taught younger inmates how to read. Fixed broken radios for cigarettes. Never joined a gang. Never started trouble. But every night he sat on his bunk and replayed that punch in his head like a film reel. One punch. One dead best friend. One shattered life. He accepted the guilt like a second skin. until Officer Ava Brennan walked onto the block. Ava was new, transferred from a women's facility after her husband, a deputy, was killed in the line of duty 2 years earlier. She was 32, quiet, kept her dark hair in a tight bun, and had eyes that looked like they'd seen too much but still hadn't given up. First day, she caught Ryan staring at an old Polaroid he kept tucked in his Bible, him and Lauren on their wedding day, both laughing like tomorrow was guaranteed. Most officers would have barked at him to put it away. Ava just looked, and something in her face softened. That night she slid an extra cookie from the staff tray onto his dinner. Ryan looked up, confused. Ava shrugged. "You never cause problems, Caldwell. Figured you earned it." Small things became routine. A paperback left on the cart when no one was looking. A second cup of coffee poured when the sergeant wasn't watching. Then one evening, lights out, Ava stopped by his cell. "Ava," soft but firm, "you don't look like the monster they say you are." Ryan gave a tired half-smile. "Monsters don't always have horns, Officer Brennan." Ava, leaning closer to the bars. "Then why do you punish yourself every single day?" Ryan replied, "Because the woman I loved told the world I was one, and I still can't find a reason she'd lie." Ava didn't answer. The next week she brought him a dog-eared copy of To Kill a Mockingbird. In the margin of page 47 Ryan wrote, "Thank you for seeing something besides the orange jumpsuit." She wrote back on page 52, "Keep writing. I like your handwriting." Letters hidden in book margins became their secret language. One visiting room day, glass between them, Ava laid her palm flat on the partition. Ryan hesitated, then matched it with his own. For the first time in 6 years, I felt something other than rage. Ava started staying late, digging through old case files when the prison went quiet. Something about Ryan's story kept her awake at 3 a.m. No death certificate on file for Kyle Whitaker. No autopsy photos. The 911 call recording corrupted. Ambulance report said no pulse, but no hospital admission. Then one night she found it. A Facebook profile under Kyle's real name, alive, tanned, grinning on a beach photos, with Lauren on his arm. Wedding photos. Vacation photos. The same week Ryan's appeal window closed 5 years earlier, Lauren had posted, "New chapter, new love." Ava's hands shook so badly she almost dropped her phone. Kyle had suffered a mild concussion. Lauren paid the responding officer, the paramedics, everyone, to pronounce him dead at the scene so Ryan would disappear forever. Ava drove to the prison the next morning, tears already falling. In the visiting room, Ava slid the printed photos across the ledge. Ava, voice breaking. "Ryan, he's alive. Kyle is alive. They staged the whole thing." Ryan stared at the photos. His chest started heaving. 10 years of guilt cracked open like an eggshell. He put his head in his hands and cried, ugly, body-shaking sobs that echoed through the room. "I wasn't trash. I wasn't a killer. I'd been buried alive." That night Ava pulled every string she had left. One conjugal visit. Officially for family counseling. Unofficially, because she couldn't let him spend one more night believing he was worthless. The trailer was small, dim, smelled like bleach and hope. They stood 2 feet apart, afraid to breathe. Ava reached him first, fingers trembling as she touched the new ink on his forearm, a cross with Lauren's old wedding date. Ava whisper, "I'm sorry she made you carry this." Ryan's fingers found the scar on her shoulder where shrapnel from the night her husband died still lived under her skin. Ryan kissed it like it was holy. They undressed each other slowly, reverently, like the other person might disappear if they moved too fast. When he finally pulled her against him, it wasn't lust. It was resurrection. Ava, crying into his neck. "I see you, Ryan. All of you." Ryan, voice raw. "I waited 10 years for someone to say that." Her body didn't just want mine, it was trying to put me back together, piece by broken piece. The very next morning Ava filed the emergency appeal. She worked 80-hour weeks, no sleep, fueled by coffee and fury. Real medical records surfaced within days. Kyle Whitaker, treated for mild concussion and laceration, discharged the same night with a prescription for ibuprofen and an ice pack. The bribed officer took one look at the federal RICO charges Ava's lawyer friends threatened and folded like a lawn chair. The paramedics followed. The 911 tape was miraculously recovered from a forgotten server. Lauren's voice, calm and cold. "Yes, he's not breathing, no. Don't send an ambulance, it's too late." The courtroom was standing room only. Reporters, true crime YouTubers, even a Netflix crew. Lauren sat in the back in oversized sunglasses, legs crossed, smirking like she was watching a movie about someone else's life. When the judge read the words, "Conviction vacated, immediate release, state apologizes for the grave miscarriage of justice," Lauren's mouth actually fell open. For the first time in her life, she had no line ready. Ryan walked out of that prison on a Tuesday afternoon after 3,958 days. The sun was so bright it felt violent. He shielded his eyes and almost fell to his knees right there on the gravel. Ava was leaning against her old Jeep, holding a brand new black leather jacket, the exact one he used to point out in magazines and say, "One day." Ryan slipped it on with shaking hands. "Ryan, tell me this isn't a dream." "Ava, if it is, we're dreaming the same one. Get in." They drove straight to her apartment. The second the door closed, Ryan pinned her against it, kissing her like the world was ending all over again, but this time in reverse. No timer. No guard outside. No orange jumpsuit. Just them. Clothes hit the floor in the hallway. They made it to the bedroom eventually. Sunlight poured through the blinds in gold bars across their skin. Ava laughed when she saw the ridiculous prison tattoo some guy gave him in year 4. A cartoon pit bull with "Lauren Forever" in a heart. Ava traced it with her finger. "Ava, we're lasering that off first thing tomorrow." Ryan, grinning for the first time in a decade, "Yes, ma'am." She pushed him onto the bed, climbed on top, and took her time. Every scar on his body got a kiss. Every tear she cried landed on his chest like rain on dry desert ground. "Ava," whispering between kisses, "you're home now. You're safe. You're mine." Touch became the only language we trusted. If you're wiping tears right now, do me a favor, type "justice served" in the comments. I want to see how many of us are riding this emotional roller coaster together. And if you haven't hit like yet, do it now. This story is about to get even crazier. Weeks later they were knee-deep in the civil suit, state, county, Kyle's company, Lauren personally. Ava was combing through financial discovery when she found a scanned attachment buried in Lauren's old tax returns. 4 birth certificates. Grayson Michael Caldwell. Hudson James Caldwell. Parker William Caldwell. Riley Grace Caldwell. Born 7 months to the day after the murder. Quadruplets. All with Ryan's last name. Lauren never even bothered to change it legally. Ava's scream brought Ryan running from the kitchen. He took one look at the screen and sank into a chair like the floor had disappeared. "Ryan, those are mine." Ava. Conceived the weekend before the fight. She knew Ryan. She knew the whole time. He scrolled through photos the private investigator pulled from Lauren's locked Instagram. 4 perfect 6-year-olds with storm gray eyes staring back at him. His eyes. Grayson had Ryan's crooked smile. Riley had the same dimple in her left cheek. Ryan put his head in his hands and sobbed so hard Ava thought his heart would break all over again. "I have children. 4 of them. And they think their father is either dead or a killer." He looked up, eyes suddenly steel. "Ryan, I want my kids." The confrontation happened the next day. Ryan didn't call ahead. He pulled up to the gated mansion Lauren and Kyle bought with blood money in a borrowed pickup, same red color as the one he had at 22. Lauren answered the door in yoga clothes and fresh filler, diamond studs flashing. Look what the cat dragged out of hell. Ryan, I'm here for my children. Lauren's smile vanished. Lauren, you have no children. Kyle appeared behind her, arms crossed, still smug. Kyle, you were never supposed to get out, buddy. Bad luck. Ryan stepped closer, voice calm. DNA test. Tomorrow. Court orders already signed. You can fight it and lose everything, or you can open the door and let me meet them. Lauren, they're mine. Ryan, not for long. The test took 10 minutes and came back 99.9997% match. Judge transferred custody immediately. Felony conspiracy and perjury have consequences. Supervised visitation for Lauren, twice a month, if she stayed clean. The first meeting was in a pastel-colored room at Child Services. Ryan knelt the second the door opened. 4 little humans walked in holding a social worker's hands, eyes huge. Grayson stepped forward first, oldest by 4 whole minutes, leader by birthright. Grayson, are you the man from the pictures? Ryan, yeah, buddy. I'm your dad. Riley marched straight up and touched the stubble on his jaw. Riley, Mommy said you were in heaven. Ryan's voice cracked. I was somewhere worse. But I fought every day to get back to you. Hudson and Parker hung back until Ryan opened his arms. Then it was a pile-on, 4 little bodies crashing into him, knocking him flat on the floor, giggling and crying at the same time. Ryan held them so tight he was scared he'd break them. I lost 10 years, but in that moment I got eternity back. If you're crying again, comment, Daddy's home, down below. I know I am. Ryan's settlement came through 6 months later, $14.7 million from the state and punitive damages from Kyle's company that made the news. He didn't buy yachts or Lambos. He started Second Chance Customs, a motorcycle garage that only hired men who'd worn orange just like him. Within a year it was the hottest custom shop in the country. Jay Leno flew in for a build. He poured the rest into the Caldwell Foundation, free legal help for the wrongfully convicted. Hundreds of men walked free because Ryan refused to let what happened to him happen to anyone else. He and Ava got married on a quiet beach at sunset, just them and the quadruplets. Riley was the flower girl and ring bearer. She insisted on both jobs. That night, in the house Ryan built with his own hands on 40 acres of rolling hills, they slow danced barefoot in the kitchen to their song, the one playing the first time they ever kissed through glass. Ava led him upstairs. Candles. White sheets. Windows open to the sound of crickets. She pushed him gently onto the bed and climbed on top again, moving like she was praying over every broken place inside him. Ava, tears falling onto his chest, every year they stole. I'm giving it back to you tonight. Ryan was thick. You already did, baby. You already did. Every thrust felt like erasing another year I lost. 1 year later, almost to the day Ryan walked free, he bought the old Willow Ridge Country Club. The same club Kyle and Lauren bankrupted 3 families to acquire with shady real estate deals. Ryan sent them engraved invitations on heavy cream cardstock. An evening of reconciliation. Your presence would mean the world. Lauren RSVP'd yes immediately. She wanted to walk in and prove she still won. The night of the gala, the ballroom glittered. CEOs, politicians, influencers, everyone wanted to be seen with the man who beat the system. Ryan looked lethal in a black tux, Ava glowing in emerald silk beside him. Kyle and Lauren swept in 20 minutes late, Lauren in a blood-red gown cut down to her navel, Kyle whispering in her ear that Ryan was just playing rich guy for a minute. Ryan took the stage, thanked donors for the foundation, told a shortened version of his story. Then he smiled, the kind of smile that doesn't reach the eyes. Ryan, 10 years ago I was told I murdered Kyle Whitaker. Turns out the only thing that died that night was my ability to trust the woman I loved. He nodded to the DJ. Lights dropped to black. Four small voices rang out in perfect unison from the entrance. "Daddy!" Every head turned. Gasps rippled like dominoes. A matte black Porsche 911 Turbo S, custom built in Ryan's shop, rolled slowly into the ballroom on a red carpet, engine purring low. The doors opened. Grayson, Hudson, Parker, and Riley climbed out in miniature tuxedos and a tiny emerald dress that matched Ava's. They ran straight to the stage. Phones shot up everywhere. The moment went viral before they even reached him. "Grayson," loud and clear, "Mom said you were dead. We knew she was lying the whole time." Riley pointed at Lauren. "That's the bad lady who took our real daddy away." Lauren's face was drained of color. She lunged forward screaming, "They're my children." Ryan caught all 4 kids in his arms, lifted Riley onto his hip, and spoke into the microphone without raising his voice. "Ryan, not anymore." 2 officers stepped from the shadows, Ava's final gift. She'd kept recording devices in every visitations for months. Lauren was handcuffed for perjury, conspiracy to commit fraud, filing false reports. Kyle for bribery and insurance fraud. Both let out while cameras flashed like lightning. Final shot of the night that broke the internet. Ryan on stage with Ava and their 4 children, spotlights bathing them in gold, while Lauren's screams echoed down the marble hallway. Ryan looked straight into the nearest camera and said, "I lost 10 years, but I gained a lifetime." Slow zoom on the 5 of them climbing into that Porsche, Ava driving, kids in the back laughing, Ryan's hand on her thigh, city lights blurring past as they drove into the future that was always meant to be his. And that, family, is the true power of redemption. Here's the lesson I want you to carry in your heart today. Evil can wear the face of the person who once promised you forever. But goodness, real goodness, shows up quietly where you never imagined, believes the unbelievable, and fights when everyone else has given up. Never stop believing that truth wins, eventually. Because one day the same sun that watched you get buried will watch you rise. If this story moved something deep in your soul, do 3 things for me right now. Comment, "Truth wins." I read every single one. Share this video with someone who feels like giving up. This is their reminder that seasons change. Subscribe and hit the bell because every single day I bring you another story that proves love and justice are stronger than hate and lies. I love y'all more than words. See you in the next video.